It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Welcome back to Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, another independence declaring kind of guy. Ethan Levita from Liberty on Tour, hitchhiker, I guess. You know, the Liberty on Tour guys, you know, inspired him to, you know, go share a message. We're going to find out what that message is. Ethan, I'm going to give you an opportunity to, you know, tell your story, man. You got to share with us. You know, you started this when, why, and where are you going?
Basically, I started about 3 weeks ago, just before Thanksgiving, proposed an idea to Pete and Adam, and they ran with it. And so now, basically what I'm doing is hitchhiking around the country, mostly the South, trying to find alternative organizations, counter-economic businesses, agorist businesses, essentially promoting underground ways of resolving social problems without using the state's violence or any unethical violence.
Well, you know, a lot of that's going to be economic. You know, what kind of medium of exchange are you advocating?
I advocate anything that the subjective values of the individuals participate in, but I definitely prefer gold and silver-backed currencies as media of exchange.
Well, tell me what your plan is. You started when, where, you're going, how long is it going to take? Are you just on the reed on the wind? I mean, you know, leaf on the wind. Yeah. You know, what is it your plan is?
Basically, I'm headed across I-10, then going to go down to Key West, and then come back up to New Hampshire. There's a few spots I'm still looking for people to meet up with, but North Carolina looks pretty busy, as does Tennessee. Vegas was the first stop, and that was really busy. I'm looking forward to Phoenix as well, now that I just got in here last night.
Well, how long do you plan on being here?
Phoenix, well, every area. I don't have a concrete date. I do.
Good, we're going to party, man. You're here at the right time. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about how you got here. Mm-hmm. Now, you're doing this hitchhiking thing. You know, define that for me. Have you done it before? How's it working out? You know, tell me all about that aspect of travel.
I've been hitchhiking since I was probably about 15 and did my first cross-country trip when I was 17. It probably 35,000 miles. It's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. It's just stepping out into the road and putting your thumb out, you know, making sure you have all the supplies you need in your back. Well,
you know, who are the kind of people that pick you up, and what kind of conversations do you have?
Generally, people all tend to be interested in liberty. They won't necessarily go all the way, but they are in that inclination, and conversations will vary. I do try to bring up liberty, but we discuss everything that can range in a normal conversation between two people.
Well, how do you present yourself when you got to sign, you know, Phoenix or bust, or you just put you out there, you show some leg? I mean, how is it that you get picked up?
I'm not sure leg would get me very far.
Well, you don't know. I mean, you know, I'm just wondering how it is that you get, you know, able to travel this way.
Mostly just stand there, wait patiently. It doesn't take long, 15 to 16 minutes on average. I will run signs if there's a junction, like near Barstow, California. It splits between 15 and 40. So before that, if I'm going either way, I'll have a sign saying which interstate. That way they don't waste the other people's time.
Very cool. So this generally people, you know, aren't scary. They're pretty cool about the whole thing.
The people that pick you up are. I've had a few close calls otherwise, but nothing too outrageous. Life is a risk in general. Well,
you know, give me, you know, you wouldn't want to do this if you're a 23-year-old young bodacious blonde female, right?
I wouldn't recommend doing it for your first trip. I think if you knew what you were doing, it'd be fine. But definitely for a first trip for a female, I'd recommend going with somebody else just to learn the ropes at first.
Well, give me some of these ropes I need to know, man.
It's generally learning how to interact with people and talk your way out of situations that may prove dangerous or not. And a lot of it is just, even if you don't act on it, remaining paranoid enough of worst case scenarios that you're ready for any situation.
Well, do you carry protection with you of any form?
I don't.
Yeah, it's your
mostly due to the statist regulation against a lot of those forms of protection make it more difficult in that regard.
Well, how does law enforcement treat you?
That's a wide variety. Most of them, I will give a legal name and date of birth, and they'll move along. Others I've had as far as illegally searching me, almost tasing me. Others will be friendly and give me a ride to where I need to go, especially if I appeal to the sense of, I'm just trying to get out of your jurisdiction.
Yeah, first blood, man. Just take me to the edge of town.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or county.
So your motivation is that you're trying to share something, bring light to something.
Yes.
What?
Agorism. Essentially just resolving social problems voluntarily without using aggressive violence in order to resolve the social problem.
Well, give me an example. I mean, we have, one thing that we're advocating is, being able to do exchange without being in the system, whatever that is. So how do you pay for stuff? Do you have money? Do people give you money? How do you, feed yourself? Give me the spiel on the road, man.
Even though I'm pro-market, I'm also very anti-materialist. So personally, I keep my costs very low with everything. I think especially Americans waste way more than what is needed. As far as how I earn money, I try to, in fact, for the last several years, I've worked entirely in the counter economy or the agorist economy. People are also very charitable on the road. I just try not to expect it. I work very hard to, here I am promoting businesses and starting them out and helping them grow.
So what were you doing in New Hampshire? How did you hook up with Pete and Adam? You just started hanging out with them and said, hey, I'm a hitchhiker, man. You want an Agorist? I'll show you Agorist.
Well, I've had a long series of run-ins with Pete and Adam. I first met them in D.C. when they were part of Motorhome Diaries. Ran in there. I was hitchhiking down south, and another Liberty friend said they were in town, so we went there, hung out. Other than that, I hung out with them at PorkFest. I helped them paint the RV Mauve for the new Liberty on Tour project, and then we hung out in Keene for a bit longer. I found out about Keene online, as most people do, and then I had a friend, Dale, who invited me to stay out there, so I visited hitchhiking there last year, I believe it was, and then this year, on the 1st of May, I made it out there and lived there until I did this Liberty on Tour project.
Well, then it started getting cold as the time goes south. Is that what it was?
I won't lie, that's part of it, but really seeing the impending currency collapse and everything going on, I think the message needs spread out, and I think there needs to be more public agorism going on before it does begin to collapse.
Well, how do you see it collapsing? What's the telltale signs? What are you looking for?
The dollar losing value against silver and gold being a very obvious one. Right when I was leaving, it skyrocketed from about 20 Federal Reserve notes for an ounce of silver to 30.
That was a good sign. There are lots of signs. Well, we're going to be talking to Ethan a little bit more when we come back, and we'll probably bring in some of the other guys that are supporters of his, that when you're doing this across the country and people of like mind, they want to help. And we're glad he's here in Phoenix over the holidays. We'll make sure he goes, not wanting, for something to eat and a place to stay and have some fun, and then he'll be on his way with more friends. It's a network. This is what we need to survive. I mean, will it come down to, do you have the capacity in your walker to go hitchhiking? Well, maybe not. So we count on different strata of our community, of our country, to be able to look at a lot of different diverse ways of existing, as long as you're peaceful. As long as you're advocating nonviolence, as long as you have an understanding up here that's the same as a lot of people that agree with how we should live our lives, you'll always find somewhere to be of use, someone that'll be supporting what you're doing. He's found some new friends here, and he comes with a lot of recommendations, and we'll make sure he enjoys the holidays here. And I'm hoping that you're able to hang out with us for a little while. You going to be able to hang out with us for a while here in Phoenix?
If there's enough going on, I should be able to hang out for a few days.
There's always something going on. It's all going on here. Well, we're going to talk about what's going on and how we can kind of dovetail with what he's doing. We're going to bring it all in, because that's what we do here on Declare Your Independence and Freedom's Phoenix, freedomsphoenix.com. Go check it out. We'll be right back. You guys don't go away.